You know how like sometimes you laugh out loud in the gym listening to a podcast or something and you feel insane because people are like, why is this person laughing out loud in the gym? Thank God our gym is always empty. But when you and Cerrone were on and you were talking about how you were smelling things that you wanted to eat, I was in the gym crying, like actual tears down my face laughing about that.
It was the truth. That's what it is, Kendra. Authenticity will make you bust out laughing because it's just strange things that's coming up. For example, talking about losing weight and all that stuff, right? So this past week, my wife and I decided, because we went on vacation and we ate like animals.
Yeah, as you should. It's vacation.
Exactly. And I drunk too. I was throwing fireballs back like crazy.
Oh, see, I try to really only drink on vacation. That is like one of my rules. However, this summer has been so hard with the World Cup. I have to be honest. Like I don't like being drunk unless I'm like somewhere where like I don't know anybody and nobody knows me and like whatever. But once again, last night, I'm a sucker for orange wine and nobody ever has it. And before you ask, no, it's not made out of oranges.
Okay.
It is a skin contact wine, which means they leave the skin on the grapes when they make it. It's a white wine and no restaurants ever have it. I ordered my dirty soda water as my first drink. It's literally soda water with olive juice. That's like my fun mocktail that I get because I love it. And it comes with a snack. Who doesn't love a beverage and a snack with some olives? But they came around at this dinner that I was at and they were like, orange or red, and I was like, I had zero intention of having any alcohol until I go on vacation again. However, I can't turn this down because nobody ever has it.
Oh my goodness. It was delicious though, right?
I just love orange wine and nobody ever has it. It's my one weakness.
Well, listen, the wife and I were doing all types of stuff like that. And we said, all right, so this week, here's what we're going to do. Fruits, vegetables, water.
A cleanse.
Okay, a nice cleanse. Kendra.
What'd you do?
I got on the scale this morning after doing fruits, vegetables, and water all week. I was committed. I did not cheat. None of that stuff.
Did you sniff anything?
No, I didn't sniff any ice cream. Not at all. I wanted to. It was, to be honest, the first 3 days were very, very difficult. My desire for sugar and just, I could be driving down the street and I know a Dunks is coming up and my mind would go, ooh, I want a strawberry colada. And I had to fight it. I would call her to say, stay on the phone with me to keep me accountable so that I do not turn and go in there and get me something.
That's marriage right now.
Listen. Know? But Kendra, I got on the scale this morning. Why have I gained weight?
Have you been working out a lot?
Yes, but not lifting. It's only been cardio.
That's why.
What do you mean?
Inflammation makes you gain weight.
What?
Yeah. So like they say that if you're, doing something really healthy, working out a lot for an event to fit into something, it causes inflammation. Don't work out, especially cardio, a couple days before the event because you'll drop the weight. It's inflammation.
I'm shocked. Are you serious?
Yes.
I was so disappointed this morning.
No, that's why.
I almost didn't come in today because I was so broken.
That is why. It is. You have not gained weight. It is just inflammation. If you did not work out or do any cardio for the next 2 days, you would lose a couple pounds.
Wow.
You're welcome.
But yeah, I'm to be honest, people, and the number is 617-779-0985. I'm kind of out of the loop because I went to North Carolina, saw family, hung out with them. It was a phenomenal time. We ate like crazy. Then I came back and then I went to Waterville Valley in New Hampshire.
Did you go to Cookout while you were down there?
Cookout and no, I didn't. My son came with us and he went because he stayed with the Battles with Cerrone and his family.
Yeah.
They went to Cookout. I was having home cooked meals, but that Southern home cooked, like I have 8 aunts down there.
That's where I'm from. I get it. You can talk about the soul food with me.
Yeah, and
I'm from Jacksonville.
They all came over the night we got there, and it was like we're gonna celebrate, and they brung a spread. And from that moment on, it was just shenanigans. We went to Greensboro. What was the name? Daddy's something. I don't know. But the food was just great.
Are you a collard green guy?
Yes.
Love greens.
Come on now.
Some people don't.
Yams, mac and cheese. The only foods I don't like. I hate lima beans. I hate beets. Please tell me. You hate beets? Beets are nasty.
No.
Beets are...
You've just never had them prepared well.
Beets are just like... if blood was a vegetable.
I love them.
It's
With
just-
some goat cheese, some pistachios, little
Nasty.
olive oil.
Disgusting.
Oh,
Disgusting.
so good.
I know we got a lot to do, a lot to talk about, but we're going to get there. Trust me. So again, North Carolina, Waterville Valley in New Hampshire, which was great. And then when I remembered, hey, Kendra and I are working together on Saturday morning. And through our brief conversations and whatnot, I've come to learn that Kendra is, this might be before your time. There used to be this show called Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? Where in the world is Kendra Middleton? You are all over the world. And so my little bit of traveling, I've learned that it really, really does a great job of helping you understand people. Oh, snap. You're so quick. Ryan, that was great. Kendra, if you would, real quick, can you just tell us some of the places you've been? And more importantly, what has travel taught you about the world? Your top
where have I been
3
this year or ever?
This year.
This year? So this year I've done Portugal, Germany, Namibia, Turks and Caicos, and I'm doing Albania and Greece in a couple of weeks, and then I will be going back to Ireland and doing Northern Ireland in August. I'm trying to hit 50 countries. I don't have kids. This is my diaper money.
And what lessons?
Hey, you went to North Carolina. That's cool, too.
Shut up. No, it's not.
To Greenville.
Not in comparison. But what have you learned? What are for people who don't travel, and I think this is very important, especially now. We have the World Cup. Mm-hmm. You have Sail Boston that's starting today. It's a chance to experience other cultures, people, and get to what have you learned in your travels?
Be grateful. There are people who have literally nothing and would rip their arms off to just be able to have clean water out of the tap. You are not, it is okay to be perceived. Being perceived is a tough thing to learn. You're always going to be perceived, but nobody is thinking about you and what you're doing and how you look more than you are. Think about when's the last time that you seriously went in public and someone was doing something insane or looked a certain way and you still think about it right now? Never. There's one person, and it is because their whole ass was out in a Target that I consistently think about from 10 years ago. And that is the only person that I have ever perceived that I still think about. You are not being as thought about. You are not that important. It doesn't matter. Make a fool of yourself. Embarrass yourself. Go places. Talk to people. The other thing I would say, I love to solo travel. Sit at the bar if you are anywhere by yourself. You will meet people. You'll talk to the bartender. You'll learn places to go from locals. The other thing I would say, pretty much anywhere you go in the world, there are free walking tours. Just Google free walking tours in whatever city you're in. Do that the first day that you are somewhere, because your tour guide, one, you'll meet other people traveling that are in the same area as you. You're probably going to see similar things as them. You will make friends. Two, they will give you a guide of where to go eat, where to shop, where to avoid, those types of things. Usually it's in a Google form or something like that. Those are my biggest travel tips. And then I would say my last one would be, I know whenever someone says Michelin, people are like, oh, that's got to be expensive. There's a difference between being a Michelin guide or a Michelin list or whatever. Download the Michelin app. It does not have to be expensive to eat well. There are restaurants that are hole in the wall, mom and pops, single dollar sign, and pretty much anywhere you go with a Michelin list, and you can pull up a map and find the things closest to you. Guaranteed to get a good meal at whatever price point you want. Utilize it.
Wow. It sounds like you're saying basically, don't be afraid to live. Live.
Yeah, we're all going to die. That money's not going anywhere. Yes, saving is important. I have, retirement funds. I'm very responsible with my money. Like I said, I don't have kids. I'm not married. Those aren't things that I have to worry about. However, we're all going to die. Don't die without doing the things that you want to do and seeing the world.
Wow. And there it is. 617-779-0985. Before we go to break, we got to introduce the music of the day. Today's music. Last night, New York City, the one and only Jay-Z started his 3 concert series. It was all over social media for me. So again, it's dedicated to Jay-Z. Let it ride. And y'all know it. Remember Tom Brady? Oh, we're going to talk about him too. This used to be his song. Again, 617-779-0985. We're going to kick back and enjoy an absolute beautiful Saturday. Humidity is low, but the sports talk is high. Don't you steal that. That was smooth. That was smooth. Let's take a break. When we get back, we got to talk about the Patriots. Christian Gonzalez in the news, and I believe for all the right reasons. We'll talk about that next. It's 9-5, the Sports Hub. 90985. It is a Jay-Z Music Saturday. And Kendra, we talked about this off air, but I've been disconnected because I've been on vacation. But then when I get back and I slowly start working myself back into, the normal routine, and I start listening to what's going on or in and around the city, I'm like, man, what's going on with all this Christian Gonzalez, Greg Bedard, back and forth, whatever. And so basically, if you haven't heard, Pat's cornerback Christian Gonzalez isn't worried about what anyone has to say about him heading into the season. And I totally agree with him. So ESPN, I believe, they ranked the cornerbacks, and he came in third. Was it cornerbacks or DBs? Regardless, he was like the third ranked. And apparently some coaches and, members of other teams were saying that one of the negatives, if you can say so, about Christian Gonzalez is he's not physical, among some other things. And then Greg Bedard on a podcast said that, pretty much he's heard some of that from the Patriots too. And then Christian Gonzalez, who, by the way, when this happened, I wasn't sure it was him because everything on social media right now feels fake. So I was like, is this really Christian Gonzalez on X putting this out there? And it is him. And basically what he said is where is it at? Basically he was, I don't have it word for word right now, but he was like, Greg Bedard's, still talking about me. Always got my name in his mouth type of thing with an LOL. Got something new to say about me every day. LOL. That's what he put. Kendra, I am with Christian Gonzalez 100%. Not just what he said at Greg Bedard, but just in general when it comes to the media. I was doing Patriots post-game, 2 seasons. Not last season's, but the 2 before that. And when Christian Gonzalez entered the league, I can't lie. I can't sit here and lie to you. I can't lie to the people. That young man's name was mentioned quite a bit, and there was doubt. There was constant talk that he's okay. He's really not that great. I don't know. And then when it came to, him potentially getting paid, I don't know if he's worth the money. And then I heard, but if the Patriots decide to play zone, he's just, I don't know. Does he fit the scheme? And then he goes out and he performs in the Super Bowl. Yes, I get it. The Patriots lost, but Christian Gonzalez did his thing. And then you start hearing whispers. But was it really, really that important? Or was he really, really that good? Like it didn't really matter that much. I'm sorry. I thought the point of drafting was to draft players that can become potentially great players. And if Christian Gonzalez isn't there right now, he's absolutely on his way. Why in the world are some, not all, and I have to put Greg Bedard in there because I'm telling you, for 2 seasons, I didn't hear much positive talk about Christian Gonzalez. Kendra, what's your thoughts on this whole thing?
All right, so I have to be honest. We have a show to do. We have a job to do. And sometimes there are points where we need to be negative. And I've talked a lot of crap myself about, Mac Jones and whoever you want to throw out there from time to time. I'm guilty of it too. But in the same sense that we have a job to do, he has a job to do. We have something to talk about. We respect that he has a job and he respects that we have a job. I think the line that gets kind of crossed for me, and I love Greg, and we talk about Greg all the time. There's no tea, no shade here, whatever. But if you're doing your job he has the right to say whatever he wants and to advocate for himself. I think that my biggest issue with the generation of reporters of Greg's age and the like is the constant comments about how my generation, which I think Christian and I are maybe 3 or 4 years apart, so we get lumped into that same generation together, your kids, whatever, is that people our age and our generation are soft in comparison to older generations of players. And to that I say, and I've heard Greg say this a lot, and you're entitled to your opinion the same way that we are, and sure, maybe compare it to older generations of football, that might be true, especially to people that consumed those players and those teams. However, what generation raised this generation? You birthed us, you raised us, you taught us to advocate for ourselves and to not take crap, and that work is just work, and you are allowed to speak up for yourself and how you feel. And after watching Greg over the last couple of seasons, as we all do, throw shade, trust me, I've had players come back at me for things that I've said about them or whatever, and rightfully so. But it's like when you constantly are talking down about, his teammates and whatever. And there is criticism to be had about his health and availability, because at the end of the day, the best ability is availability.
Yes.
And he has been injured. And that is unfortunately something that we have to speak on. However, I can see him not just, for me, it doesn't sound like he's just speaking about himself here. He's speaking about how there has been other comments about his teammates and the generation thing and how they're soft and the injuries and yada yada. I think that it is not just this one isolated incident, obviously, but it seems like it almost might also be about teammates and comments prior to me.
I feel like, and I agree with you wholeheartedly, it almost is like there was a time I can remember being a kid, being a teenager, and we grew up during a time where you couldn't talk back to an adult. And I'm not saying that you would do it disrespectfully. I'm not saying that you would curse or you would, roll your eyes or anything. We knew that was a no-no. But to simply express ourselves and say, hey, maybe, hey, Leroy, go do that. To sit back and say, hey, I hear you and I want to respect you, but I'm not feeling comfortable about doing that was a no-no. And I think, this is just me, I think a lot of people from my generation and before have this mindset of, I'm an elder, what I say needs to be heard, and your response is not allowed at all. Even if it's valid, we don't want to hear it. We're older. We know better. You're a younger person. You're new to this. I don't care if you're a professional athlete. I've been around longer than you've been born, and I know more about the game than even you do. I don't really want to hear it. Don't say much. And this is not just a New England thing. I think it's throughout the board, throughout sports, and just throughout business in general. The problem is, I think a lot of people in my generation and before are having a hard time accepting the fact that things like social media, the internet, has given people a voice. And guess what? It's not going away.
I was just going to say, you never would have heard this 15 years ago unless they called into a radio station. But the generation that Greg is a part of and all of these other older reporters raised my generation. And I am a Southerner, and it was very much, if you didn't say yes ma'am, no sir,
That's right.
that was an issue.
Right.
However, I was raised to respect my elders, but only if my elders respect me. And if you do not respect me, why do I owe you something that you are not giving me?
If your elders didn't respect you, did you feel like you had space to express that
Yes.
in a respectable way?
Yes, but your generation and generations older did not. But now it's so easy for, 15 years ago, like I said, you never would have known what Christian Gonzalez or Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum or anybody through all of these stories that we've had the last couple of weeks had to say on live streams and Twitter and whatever. And now they have the availability and ability to do that. And I think that it's good and bad, just like everything else. There's positives and negatives, yin and yang, whatever you want to call it, of everything. But 15 years ago, this beef wouldn't have been happening. It's just whatever Greg said would be the Bible.
Yeah, I think some people are upset also that because of the ability for these young athletes to speak their mind, the ability to create a narrative is disappearing. And people would feed off of that. They would make money off of that. To be able to create a narrative, not have athletes respond, and you can just run with that for days, for weeks, for months, for years, that's gone away. So to some degree, guess what? Now you kind of got to do some work. You can't stick on or stay on something for too long because these athletes are going to come right back out. They're going to tell you what it is. They're going to say it on their own. They're not going to have some PR team come through and do it. And sometimes it's going to look messy, and sometimes athletes are going to mess up. But again, going back to Christian Gonzalez, that little response, I have absolutely no problem with it.
Me either. But my thing is, if this were your child, you'd be like, good for you. I'm proud of you. That's how I raised you. Stick up for yourself.
Yeah, you're right.
Good for you.
You're right. Dang. She made a great point. Because now I feel like I got to pick up the phone and tell my kids, hey, listen. And I've done that with my children where I hope they feel like they should, because I know some of the conversations we've had. Hey, yes, I am your father, but we can have some very difficult conversations. And if you don't agree with me about some stuff, I'm not saying you sit there and be disrespectful about it, but talk to me. And Christian Gonzalez, when we go back to sports, there was nothing disrespectful about what he said. Kendra, you're absolutely right. He literally just stood up for himself with a few words. And I don't think anybody should have a problem with that. And name calling them soft or overreacting, it doesn't fit in this situation at all.
No, and I don't think that this is going anywhere. Like, we constantly see athletes, they're online. Like, as much as we like to think that they put the phone down, for example, after the U.S. men's national team lost last week, don't get me wrong, I was taking my punches. They played like a bunch of babies. They played like pansies. They looked soft. And I literally said they should delete social media right now. And unfortunately, Big Jim talks about this a lot. We, not to the same degree, we put ourselves out there. We're in the spotlight. We get a lot of flack. We get a lot of hate. It's part of the job, right? No guts, no glory. And it's the same thing with these athletes. Like, we have every right to, I don't think that you should go out and say nasty things to people online. However, content's content. We talk about things, but they're online. We know they're out there. We know they're reading this. And it's hard. But it's just part of it. And having the, instant reaction of everything comes with a cost as well.
But isn't that a part of learning?
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of these athletes obviously are very, very young. They're going to have instant reactions, and they may learn from it. Hey, maybe I shouldn't pick up my phone so quick and react. Or maybe I'm not built for it this way. Maybe I'm not capable of dealing with trolls who have evil things to say. But they have the right to figure it out. And I again, Christian Gonzalez, I have absolutely no problems with him at all. Speak your mind, do your thing. And on top of that, Kendra, can we agree? He's pretty good. He's a really good player.
I would say he's better than pretty good.
Oh, my goodness.
And I get that we're just playing a giant game of chicken here, but can we just get it over with?
I know.
Contract?
Pay the man.
Yes, pay that man.
Pay him.
He's not going to get any cheaper. And honestly, the longer you make him mad, the more expensive he's going to get. We've seen it happen. Tell me this. Does that Patrick Mahomes 10-year, does that not look like the best deal in history right now?
It does. It looks so much better.
Because they got ahead of it.
Yeah, 617-779-0985. Kendra Middleton in the building. It's the Leroy and Cerrone show. When we get back, just touch on a little bit of this Tom Brady speculation. We'll do that. 985 The Sports Hub. The generational differences that may be impacting how we look at athletes and how we deal with athletes. And specifically, we were talking about Christian Gonzalez. One of the things I forgot to mention, and Kendra and I talked about this off air, but I have to say it. I think part of the problem with the relationship between a lot of members of the media and young athletes today is that those in my generation, I'm going to say borderline millennials and Gen X and before, we have a hard time admitting we're wrong, and we have a hard time literally saying I'm sorry, taking accountability for our actions, for what we say, for what we do when it doesn't line up, when it doesn't match up, when it hurts someone. We have a hard time doing it. So instead of doing it, we'll either just double down or just start going off about other things that have nothing to do with the initial issue. But I just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, I said to you during the break that I think a lot of it has to do, I feel like we're like doing like a therapy podcast right now.
Why
but
not?
I was like, I think a lot of it has to do with the generational trauma of your father and your father's fathers, and no matter what generation you're a part of, there was no civil discourse in the house. It was, I'm right, you're wrong, I say this, you do it. And now there is more leniency in that, and that just generational mindset has been passed down, because I feel like men think that they earned the right to always be right by just existing, because that's how their fathers were and that's how they saw their dads act. So that must be the only correct way for me to act, because they don't know that they need to put the work in, or, you know, have hard conversations or be wrong sometimes to learn and better themselves. So I really just think that it is just a trauma pipeline of how we got here.
617-779-0985. Before we get into this Tom Brady stuff, the phone lines are going. Let's go to JP in MP. What's up, JP?
You know, I am not get off my front yard old guy, although I love doing it. So I love, you just quoted the best line ever in Star Wars. I am your father. Correct. Best line.
Yep.
Kendra, I got a Murray's musing before my two important questions. Didn't you go up down south with snakes and alligators and reptiles and stuff?
Hell yeah, I did.
You're not soft. Hell, I see a little garden snake and I'm, putting gel in my hair and going dancing. Tell Bedard, get off my front yard. Now, the two important questions. Kendra, who's winning the Belgian Grand Prix next week? Very important. I got to place my bet today going over to Encore. And second question, will Joe Murray participate in the wing eating contest today? That's what's important. Who cares about Gonzalez? You're going to sign him. He's going to get hurt, and he's going to play 12, 13 games. Put him in witness protection. Bring him in later in the year. They're just stalling him. Sign him.
Appreciate it, JP. There you go, Kendra.
Okay, JP, we're putting in a Lewis podium. Not a winner, Lewis podium. And today, I will actually be at the Brook working this Joey Chestnut event with Jay Stu and Joe Murray. Joe Murray says he's not competing, but it should be a good time. Come out. Some of it's for charity. Tickets, I think, still available for registration online. Say what's up if you see me. We're going to be watching the World Cup games. Going to go into UFC. Going to watch some wings get eaten. I heard that there might be, for these like true competitive eaters, 150 wings in 10 minutes. And if there's saugus wings, that means there's bones, which means the judging of those, because you gotta get the tendons and all, girl.
The bones,
yeah,
yes, of course.
You gotta eat the bones.
No, you gotta suck them dry. So how many wings do you think you could eat in 10 minutes, realistically?
In 10 minutes,
I'm gonna say 30.
Like forcing myself to do it?
Yes.
Nah, maybe like 20. And that's eating 20 on the verge about to throw up.
Something I don't think that people at this station know about me is that I am an eater. Like, I will not only do it for my size, because I work out so much, I eat so much food, but I will also eat anything. When I was in Africa, some of the things I ate, you guys.
You're laughing, but you know you can't just laugh and not tell us some of these things that are making you laugh. What did you eat?
Bugs. I ate zebra. I ate like their version of like antelope, like deer.
As opposed to our version of antelope?
No, they have like 20 different types of like antelopes.
Okay.
Was it seasoned? Or just
grilled.
Oh my. You put any sauce on it or?
No.
No? And it was good.
It was fine.
What about the bugs? What kind of bugs?
Zebra's weird. I like crickets and stuff. Roaches.
And how are they prepared, or is it just raw? Like here
just
you
dried.
Go?
They just dry them and they're crunchy. The legs are weird. I gotta be honest. The legs get like kind of stuck in your teeth. It's real weird.
Are they dead before you eat them?
Yeah.
Have you ever taken one that's alive? And
my dad convinced me to eat a live minnow one time when I was a kid.
My stomach.
Have you ever eaten rattlesnake or like gator?
Yes, I've had gator.
Gator's delicious.
It is.
Rattlesnake.
I had gator in the South Carolina.
Rattlesnake also not bad.
Walterboro. Let's go to Colonel in the Cape. What's up?
Hey, good morning. How we doing?
Good. How are you?
It's great to talk to you both. You guys are two of my favorite personalities on the air.
Appreciate it.
So real quick, easiest way to drop vacation weight, you do chicken breast and vegetables for every meal for about 6 weeks. Okay. You do push-ups, you do squats,
lunges and planks. From June 1st, I was a 2X. Now I'm just a large. So
Okay, good for you.
Take that for what it's worth.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats.
I'm on the vibration
Yeah,
plate grind now.
yeah, just go on that. You don't need anything else. Eating chicken breast for breakfast, people will shame you, but it's what it is. As far as Gonzo goes, the whole league is watching. I'm an Eagles fan. We got Quignon and Cooper coming up for contracts. So it's going to be very interesting to see what Gonzo gets, and that's going to kind of set the market. I would take him. You have a strong secondary. You got everything you need. But thank you both. You guys are awesome. Have a
Appreciate
good day.
it, man. Thanks. The only problem with his call, I'm sorry, Kendra. The only problem with his call, real quick, is I've been doing push-ups and I've been doing squats. And, it's just nothing.
Zone 2 cardio. You don't want to run. You want to walk on an elevation.
Okay.
Zone 2 cardio is where you're going to burn the most fat. People think that running is the best cardio you can do or the Stairmaster. No. Zone 2, do the 12-3-30. So you walk elevation of 12, pace of 3, 30 minutes. That's how you're going to melt fat off your body and keep your knees in check. You want your knees to last you. Don't run. If you like to run, whatever, do your thing. Happy you're out being active. That zone 2 cardio, that's what's working for you.
I thought I was doing my thing when the incline was at like 5, 6, 12?
12, 330. That's your key. Also, I'm on the vibration plate grind. I don't care if it's placebo. I love it. I do my red light therapy and my vibration plate first thing in the morning after I get some sun on my face. It's great.
That sounds like those 1930s like rubber band things wrap around your waist.
I think it really does help with recovery. I don't care if it really does you lose any weight or whatever, but I think after a workout and first thing in the morning, if you're like moving around, keep your knees bent. Obviously we don't want knee issues, but it helps like loosen you up a little bit. Yeah. I'm addicted to it.
I personally saw the effects of recovery. So I've been working out a lot every single day for months. And then when I went on vacation, I did not work out, but I got rest. And I saw my body change. I said, well, there it is.
I just told you the inflammation.
Yeah. So there it is. Listen, we got to take a quick break. I know we said we're going to talk about Tom Brady. We'll do that next. And more of your calls, 617-779-0985. She's Kendra Middleton. I'm Leroy Irvin. It is the Leroy and Cerrone Show, 985 The Sports Hub. We're on YouTube live also, so you can check us out there. Y'all be nice in the comments because y'all typically aren't nice in the comments. But this is a new day.
Your fans on YouTube are way nicer than most of the other shows.
You think so?
Girl, I know so. I promise.
You know what?
You and Joe's listeners.
Can I say?
Yes.
As a man, when a woman is talking to me and she says, girl, that lets me know that you're comfortable.
Yes,
and you
it's
know
the same
what?
as dude. It's the same as when somebody calls me dude. It's gender neutral. Dude and girl are gender neutral. And so is diva.
I love it. Diva.
Diva is gender neutral.
Diva?
Yeah.
And what, give me an instance where
we
we're
talk
talking
about athletes being divas all the time.
No, okay. I thought you're saying in the sense of if you and I are having a conversation.
And I say, yes, diva. Yes, that's gender neutral. I say it to Garvin all the time. I call Garvin diva all the time.
Wait, give me an example. Garvin says what, and you say yes, diva.
Let's say Garvin just gave me the most piping hot take ever, and I loved it. I'd say, yes, diva.
Garvin, wait, put on the mic.
Listen, it gets hot back here.
It doesn't throw you off for a split second or when it first happened?
Yeah, maybe once or twice. But
then you got used to it.
I've been working
That's what's up.
with Kendra for about a year now, so I'm used to her idiosyncrasies.
That's
Her
beautiful.
parlance, I get it.
Oh, wow.
We speak the same
617-779.
They're gender neutral.
Okay. I love it. That means it's like...
Bro, dude, girl.
It's like family.
Mush.
Yeah.
Yeah. 617-779-0985. Oh, man. I feel like... Okay. Because I've been away for a minute, I'm trying to stay focused, but I feel myself trying to go off.
You might be with the two worst people to try and stay focused.
Oh, my God. Garvin gets me in trouble.
Then I'm going there. Screw
Do
it.
it. It's Saturday in July.
So,
Who cares?
For the first time in a long time, this conversation is, well, when Cerrone's here, it's obviously it's family. But for the first time in a long time, we're in here, and I'm like, oh, this, like, when you throw around the word family, it actually feels that way. But I had this conversation on Hot, was it Thursday or Friday? We were talking about stuff going down at work. And one of the things I had to remind people of, pizza parties at work are not genuine. They are nothing but a way to kind of smooth things over. Everything could be in shambles. If you are older than 28 and you still fall for a pizza party as a way to smooth things over, what's the problem?
Okay, so what's the tea? What did Felger do to McCarthy and Barth?
What do you mean? As far as what?
Does he not know about the pizza?
No.
Oh my God!
Wait a minute.
You just threw shade and you didn't even know
I didn't even know it. What happened? Wait, so tell me, and I'll tell you how I really feel.
Okay, so Felger brought in pizza for McCarthy and Barth this week.
McCarthy, Barth, y'all
And-
suckers if you fell for
And
it.
they said thank you on the air,
I have
both
the
of them.
audio.
Yeah, can you play it? Can you play it?
Oh.
This is how their show. This is Felger Maz started.
Maz is off today. Matt McCarthy is in the Maz chair here. How you doing, Matt?
Hey, Mike. Thanks for the pizza. What a guy.
You're welcome. Barthy in our update studio. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for the pizza.
Okay, so you're welcome, but for the effing pizza. It's the end of the.
He eventually goes, nobody cares about the pizza.
Wait, okay. Do you think they genuinely were like, oh, my heart, thank you so much for the pizza? Or
Food
they were
minimum at my club, so you bring in food. This is how we kill the minimum.
Hero.
With pie.
Excellent.
Okay,
Hero?
no one cares.
I think that I agree with you for the most part. However, when Mike Felger goes out of his way to do something nice for you, I don't think it's that specific circumstance. I think when it's management, different story.
I think Felger did something that we don't know about, and he feels bad about it, and so he brought in pizza.
You're welcome, but for the effing pizza.
I need that drop.
Anytime pizza, I'm not saying you don't partake in eating the pizza, but anytime pizza is brought into work, I don't care who it is, management, co-workers, they're trying to smooth things over. And guess what? I'm going to connect it to our last break. Not take accountability for what they've done. Felger did something. And them two, I'm going to have to have a conversation, pull them to the side. Y'all can't fall for it. Don't fall. Pizza. What is this? Elementary school? Pizza Fridays?
Barthy in our update studio. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for the pizza.
Okay, so you're welcome.
Wow.
For the effing pizza.
I have to be honest, while I agree with you, if you bring me a good pizza, you can say or do whatever you want to me.
See, no. Then you and I need to have a conversation.
Pizza solves
too.
problems.
Again, I'm not saying don't eat it and enjoy it. Do that. But you got to know the pizza is just, it's a play.
Yeah, but I can eat my pie and say F you under my breath. That's fine.
No, you got to say it out loud.
I do.
It's like, hey, I get it. We're not giving you a raise, but here's some pizza. Hey, I get it. I know, no bonus, but here's a pizza.
It's like when you were in elementary school and like stuff was going on, but they'd be like, hey, you can wear jeans on Friday for $2.
Wait a minute.
You didn't go through this as a kid?
No.
You had to bring in money.
Yeah, you had to bring like $2 and they'd let you wear jeans to school. It's
That's
like,
a-
hey, listen, crap's hitting the fan, but we'll let you wear pants.
And parents didn't say, wait a minute, this is a hustle?
That was the 90s. At least it was for me.
You could hustle in the 90s. Well, it wasn't the 90s for me. It was like the 2000.
Okay, yeah, yeah. So I went to a private Catholic school in elementary school. We had a school uniform, but if you brought in like $2 to $5, I don't remember what the price was. Yeah, you could not have to wear your uniform. So that's what everybody would come in. The boys have like their Vince Carter jerseys. Girls have whatever girls were wearing in the 90s, and yeah, you had to pay for it.
Kendra, we were just talking about this generation standing up for themselves and not taking any crap. And just like, hey, speaking up and saying, here's what it is, here's how I feel, and we can debate and go back and forth. And then you turn around and you tell me pizza?
I mean, hey.
And $2 to wear jeans?
It's kind of the same thing like living in the South. Like, you go through a lot of crap in comparison to states with money living in the South, but like you've got collard greens and fried chicken and Waffle House. So it's like, you know what? Fine. You know what? What's that Aziz Ansari thing where he's like, you can call me whatever you want. I've got biscuits. It's whatever.
I'm sorry. I'm about to take another turn.
You don't know.
You mentioned Waffle House.
Yeah, it's the best. Yes.
Can we get one up here? What's the problem?
The Mason-Dixon.
I don't care.
Denny's up
Get
here.
one.
No, Denny's is a money laundering scheme.
I'm not saying that's the justifiable reason. I just think that's what it is. Also, diners. Diners are a
Non-existent
fixture of
here.
the Northeast. There are some.
No,
are some.
not the same. No, there are no. That is my number one complaint, other than the winter up here, is the lack of diners and the lack of good breakfast food. I hate it. There's no late night food. There's no late night nothing. There is like Kelly's Diner. I think is the only one in town I can think of. There are no diners. What is wrong with you people? I respect that you're all healthy and fit and that there's a ton of hospitals and we care about that crap here, but sometimes I just want to be a fat piece of crap.
I hear you. And I've been advocating for a Waffle House to get up here somehow, some way.
The Mason-Dixon is what you're beefing with. You know how you said that you have had record lows of you sniffing food?
Yeah.
When I moved up here, my senior year of college, I was so desperate. I got in the car and drove 6 hours to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, because that is the closest Waffle House. Had my Waffle House, got in the car, and drove 6 hours.
What'd you get? What's your favorite dish at Waffle House?
Okay, my death row meal. All-star special,
Yep.
double hash browns extra crispy,
Yep.
scrambled eggs, bacon, chocolate chip waffle, biscuit instead of toast, side of grits. Extra pepper on the grits.
And you don't mind, do you drink coffee?
Yeah.
So you don't mind the Waffle House mugs that have like that layer of leftover
It's
coffee?
the best coffee in the world. It's
Thank you.
trucker coffee.
Thank you.
It is the best coffee to drink black, and I will not put any of that crap in it. I will drink it like a man because it puts hair on my chest, and I love it. I love it.
So you don't mind the spots on
If you're
your
going
utensils?
if you're going to Waffle House, you know what you're getting.
Yes.
You're gonna eat the same crap off the same fork in the same cup, and you might see a fist fight, and it's gonna rule.
With flies flying
And
around.
I have had roaches walk across my table at the Jacksonville Beach Waffle House. I do not care. I do not care. It builds character.
Oh my God. Let's go to Mike in the car. Mike, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going, guys? Love
Good.
the show as always.
Appreciate it.
Kendra, you got to come out to Central Mass. Miss Worcester Diner in Worcester has been there for like 60 years. Awesome. And Carl's Diner out in Oxford, Massachusetts, literally will feed you so much food. If you finish your plate, they'll give you more for free.
The Red Arrow in New Hampshire, also great shout. But when I'm drunk, I don't want to take an Uber to Worcester or Concord, New Hampshire.
All right. I'm sorry. We took so many turns, but it was worth it. We're going to take a quick break when we get back at Entertainment Report. Man,
Tom Brady's going to have to
Tom
wait.
Brady, he's got to wait. He's been gone anyway, so who cares? But anyways, we'll get into all that stuff when we get back. She's Kendra Middleton. I'm Leroy Irvin. It's the Leroy and Cerrone Show. Jay-Z Music Saturday. Enjoy. What's up? 617-779-0985 is the number. Yes, we were talking about Waffle House. Yes, we were talking about diners. If I win the lottery, I swear I'm bringing a Waffle House to this region. And we going to keep it. The floors are going to stay sticky. The flies are going to have freedom to roam. And we going to it's going to be the spot to be at 1, 2, 3 in the morning. Doing our thing. Before we get back to all the sports, including Tom Brady, something about Tom Brady right now. I'm like, that whole story. I'm not mad at Tom. Just like, what are we doing? But anyways, before we get to that, it's time for the Entertainment Report. All right, check it out. Christopher Griffith, the man accusing former Pats wide receiver Stephon Diggs of sexual assault, has settled a separate $10 million lawsuit against Diggs' brother in a Los Angeles apartment complex. The lawsuit stemmed from allegations that Griffith was assaulted following the alleged incident involving Stephon Diggs. The terms of the settlement were not disclosed, and Griffith's civil lawsuit against Stephon Diggs, remains active. Diggs has denied the allegations and previously filed a defamation suit against Griffith, claiming the accusations are false. If it sounds confusing, it's because it is, and it's messy. But I think he just released or gave to the courts over 100 text messages from Diggs. I wonder if we're ever going to find out what was in that. Moving on, Kendra. Are you into the Disney Plus animation series X-Men 97?
Never even heard of it.
Oh, come on. Are you serious?
Did I just lose cool points?
Just a tad bit. But let me tell you, you gained a whole lot when you told me off air that you are an Xbox user.
I am an Xbox
And
user.
that you are a Call of Duty player.
I am a massive Call of Duty player.
And that you were or are a pro.
No, I played competitively for a bit from like 2022 to like 2024.
Really?
I played pretty competitively for a while. Yeah, I was on a team. We competed in tournaments.
What was the name of the team? Can you share?
I could,
Okay, I get it.
but yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you off the air.
Okay, all right. Well, anyways, for those
Well,
out
actually,
there,
people probably used to watch me stream, so I was a part of the Banana Boys.
Oh, really? Is that the only game you play, or what else do you play?
I play Fortnite. I
Nice.
tried to get into Battlefield for a little bit. Didn't love it. I love Warzone. I love original Call of Duty. I've played since I was in middle school. They just came out with some of the old maps that are going to be available for people again. You can download those. It's a good time.
What about Halo?
I loved Halo.
Okay.
Halo 3 is the best video game ever. Ever. Halo 3, Master Chief,
Yep.
loved. I have to say, if you are like the same age as me, I think my sexual awakening was Ghost in Call of Duty. If you remember like that game, and Shigo from Kim Possible.
Oh my God. Well, I guess you get all your points back, but Disney Plus, the animated series X-Men 97, season 1 was outstanding, and so far through 4 episodes, season 2 hasn't dropped the ball at all. What are you watching right now when it comes to just series?
So people are going to hate this, and you can feel free to judge me because I deserve it. I watch or consume sports open to close. However, I get 1 hour of not sports consumption a day, and it is my crappy reality TV show hour. So some parts of the year it's Love Island, some parts of the year it's Survivor, some parts of the year it's The Circle, and some parts of the year it is The Traitors. Those
Okay.
are the 4 shows that I watch. I need to turn my brain off, not feel like I need to be consuming or learning something. I don't watch any series. If it's a movie, TV, I have no idea. No idea. I get 1 hour of not sports reality TV a day,
Yeah.
and that's what I consume.
So my wife has gotten me into, and I can't believe you don't watch these. Yellowstone, you haven't touched that?
No.
Landman?
Anything you ask me since like Lost came out, I have not seen it. Actually, I watched Game of Thrones.
Okay. I'm still, Dang, Kendra, you're missing out.
I have red flags.
What do you, okay, wait a minute, elaborate. Red flags if someone.
I just don't watch, like, do you know what red flags are?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, yeah, I don't
Yeah.
watch TV like that. That's not, or movies.
And if someone does, that's a red flag to you?
No,
also?
heck no. You can
Oh.
live your life. I like having separate hobbies. I will say I've seen 2 movies this year, and I'm going on a date to see The Odyssey next week. So
Okay. I heard that's going to be really, really good.
I'm excited.
What are the 2 movies that you've seen?
I saw Pride and Prejudice. Is that what it was? No. What was the like girly movie with Jacob Elordi and Margot Robbie that came out earlier this year? Not Pride and Prejudice. Wuthering Heights.
Okay.
And then I saw The Devil Wears Prada 2. I ate a lot of gummies before both of them, and it ruled. And I'm planning to do the same with The Odyssey.
That's a whole other conversation that I'm not sure.
Do you sneak food into the movies?
Let me tell you, shout outs to my boy Jonathan.
I don't know if gummies count, by the way.
I'm talking about the cool gummies ahead of time. I planned that crap out. I got an hour ahead of time.
That's what I'm talking about. That doesn't count as sneaking food in.
Well, it's already internally ingested, so it's not really sneaking now,
Right,
is it,
okay,
Garvin?
right. Right. My boy Jonathan.
Is it, Garvin?
My boy Jonathan, who's listening, one time he convinced me to go to a Chinese food restaurant, and we got a poo-poo platter, and somehow in some way we was able to sneak that into the
Oh,
movie.
I have snuck.
Why are you laughing, Ryan?
Because women have handbags. I can sneak stuff in.
See, but we don't.
The crunch on that chicken finger must have just shattered the silence of the movie theater.
And so here we were with 2 styrofoam plates, splitting a poo-poo platter and going to town while watching a movie.
I can do you one better.
What's that?
I snuck an entire KFC family meal into the last Twilight movie. I did the marathon. So I snuck an entire KFC family meal into
How
the
did you
theater.
sneak it in? Because me and my boy, when
My
we
purse.
went. Really?
Yes.
You know what I call purses?
What?
Designer trash bags.
Because there's just always crap in the
It's
bottom
just
of it.
junk. I've never met a woman whose purse is in order. It's always a
Nah,
disaster.
I'm prepared. I'm prepared. I've got anything and anything you could ever need. I've got every medicine you could ever want. I have EpiPens. I have baby wipes. I have Tide pens, Listerine, everything.
Whose EpiPens do you have?
Mine.
Okay.
Don't they expire after like?
Oh, I'm an allergy kid. I gotta keep.
Really?
Yeah, I'm allergic to Red 40, which is very niche. But there are also other Red 40 allergy kids at this radio station.
No. My son, he's allergic to it too.
Yeah,
Yeah, and soy, which is
very common.
Man, wow.
Very common.
All right. Well, if you've watched X-Men 97 Season 2, please hit a brother up. 617-779-0987. I would love to hear what you think. And to close things out, we've dedicated the music to him today. But New York City, Yankee Stadium, Jay-Z's sold-out 3-night anniversary concert series began last night. And from what I could see, it was a movie. It was a movie. His wife Beyonce, she performed. Nas was in the building. And his daughter Blue. This is the video that's been going around a lot. His daughter, Blue Ivy, is playing the piano. And when I tell you, she's not doing no happy birthday or anything. She's playing that piano and doing her thing. So,
She's talented. I was going to say, we did get the white people version of that with Noah Khan in town all week.
Every time I hear that name mentioned, it's either people are loving the fact that he's here or they're asking why is he getting so much, or is it a he or she?
He
getting so much attention. I don't know who. I had no idea.
People
who it was.
complain about the World Cup and the traffic that it nothing apparently compares to having Noah Khan doing residency at Fenway Park.
I was going to say, this is Garvin's 13th reason right now because he had to go to a concert over at Fenway the other night. This is a hot topic for Garvin.
Oh my God. It was just trying to get in and out of the area with this goof doing it. I'm sure he's a great musician, but I was at the pop punk show down the street at the House of Blues having a great time, and trying to get out of there in the pouring rain and trying to catch an Uber was a nightmare because nobody wanted to leave because all the fares were going to be coming out of the Noah Khan concert. Like, I'm just trying to get home.
Before we wrap this up, I just got one more question for both of you. Kendra, Ryan, what's the best concert you've ever been to?
All right. I feel like this is a cop-out, but Coldplay last year was awesome because it wasn't just a concert, it was like a show. Yeah, I feel like I have to say Coldplay. It was really good. They were really good.
Nice.
So I saw 9 Inch Nails like 10 years ago, and for a long time that was the best concert. But as I was telling Kendra when I came in, I went to the Idris Radio Summer School tour on Tuesday, and that was such a great concert going experience. The acts were great. Shout out Ring Pop, by the way. Ring Pop is this local pop punk band that started a few years ago, and they just did the Warped Tour last year, and they opened for all the big acts this year. The crowd was super nice, diverse group. I've never been around such like happy people because I've gone to a lot of metal shows and people can be dicks at metal shows, but I was really, really blown away about how like nice everybody was, and the acts were great. Winona Fighter, another local group, South Arcade, Games We Play, Chase Petra had abhorrent tech issues, and that group like soldiered through. I was really just from like a tech aspect and a music aspect, like everything just culminated into this like really, really nice show. And I met so many nice people. So yeah, I would say this last Tuesday I had an awesome time.
I was going to say honorable mentions that are like not as obvious. Fisher was awesome. Less Than Jake was a band I'd never heard of. Speaking of Warped Tour, I've never listened to them again, but I was waiting to see somebody else, and they came on, and it was the biggest party ever. They were awesome. I loved them. And then
all my friends are metalheads.
The B-52s. I saw them in a teeny tiny concert venue when I was a freshman in high school, and they put on a show.
Wow. Okay. Mine's is Anderson .Paak.
Oh yeah.
I was in the aisles dancing, and I wasn't the only one. Like, we were having a ball, so that's that. Listen, I know we're off the rails, but it's cool. I don't have a problem with it at all. We got to take a quick break. When we get back, you know what? Screw Tom Brady. Can we talk about the World Cup?
You know.
Can we talk about the World Cup?
We know that I am one of the few footy people here.
Okay. We got to talk about it. We'll do that next. She's Kendra Middleton. I'm Leroy Irvin. It's the Leroy and Cerrone Show. 98.5 The Sports Hub. Breaks to go. Time is just flying.
I feel like we've been here for 10 minutes.
I know. 617-779-0985 is the number. I want to get back to sports if we can for a little bit. But I'll put this out there, too, for people to call in and answer. Again, the number is 617-779-0985 as the World Cup winds down. I just want to know, has your opinion of soccer improved, gotten worse, or stayed the same? Kendra, I feel as though you absolutely know a whole lot more about the world of soccer than I do. And I'm just going to be honest, the World Cup in the United States and North America, Canada, you got into Mexico. I'm like, wow, my interests kind of, I was like, okay, let me pay attention. And it feels like, tell me if I'm wrong, in the beginning, everything was love. It was unity. We had, it was Scotland, Haiti. It was just like the streets of Boston. It was all love. But I feel as though once the knockout round began, it started to get really, really ugly. What's the real world of soccer? Is it that love, unity, or is it drama? Is it racism? Is it corruption? Which one's the real world of soccer?
It's all of the above. However, I think the difference is there is corruption, there's racism, there's classism, there's all of that crap everywhere else in the world. I feel like we, as Americans, sit here and feel like so isolated to the fact that it's us a lot of the times because that's what we see in the media and that's like just what we feel and consume. However, it is global. I would say the reason that it felt that way is because countries like Scotland and Haiti and Cape Verde and, these other countries, they don't expect to be good. They're just happy to be there. They're happy that the World Cup was extended and that their team made it in and that they're having fun and they have an excuse to party. Whereas these big soccer countries with expectations, first of all, I think a lot of them are a-holes, right? Like Argentinians, kind of dicks. French, hate them. The English ruin everything. So, but they have expectations. Like, they are soccer countries, soccer nations. It's life or death for them. Countries like Brazil, we see that, right? So that's where I think the meanness comes, where the countries that are just happy to be participating and have an excuse to party and go somewhere, that's the fun of it. That's what the World Cup's about. But now that there's expectations and pressure and trophies and money and corruption, it feels suffocating.
I was feeling like I was trending towards, really starting to pay attention to soccer, football, whatever you want to call it. But now, because of all this craziness, I'm like, I think I want to back down. I don't think I want to, pay that much attention to it. And
USA losing didn't help.
That didn't help. And then, like you said, you mentioned like Cape Verde. There was other countries where it was just like the storyline. And I've learned this about myself too. When it comes to sports, if I put a list together of things that I love about sports, I used to think it was the competition that was at the top. And I realize it's not because of the World Cup. It's the storyline for me. If the storyline is compelling, it can pull me in, it can pull out any type of emotion, I'm with it. And once I started to see those teams start to fade away, I kind of lost interest. Now I'm looking, you got France, Spain, you got Norway and England playing today, and then you have Argentina and Switzerland. I'm kind of like,
I think that's what happened to me working in sports. Like, I grew up with a team in every single sport that I loved. And now I've kind of abandoned all of my teams, and I'm just a Jaguars fan because you will have to pry that from my cold dead hands. I don't care how bad they get. But I, as like someone who works in this industry, no longer have favorite teams. I have favorite storylines and favorite players. I don't really care if, the Atlanta Braves win the World Series anymore, even though I grew up a diehard Braves fan. because I care more about, I root for storylines now, because not only does it make my job fun, but it makes, just the consumption of sports more fun. Like this whole Erling Haaland movement, like it seems like most like of the casual people had never even heard of him, even though he's one of the league's top players. He's super fun. And now people are consuming, Julian Edelman called him Gen Z Gronk. And it's true. Like he's a fun, I don't want to say fun read or fun listen, but he's fun to consume. He's funny. His social media is quirky. He's quirky. Just the Norwegian fans and their rowing and everything has been so fun. And I think that I don't want those storylines to get lost in translation as we inevitably get to an Argentina-France final. But I think as Americans really needed this World Cup I saw someone online say that it's like when your parent hates their sibling and your cousins that finally get to have your yearly sleepover and hang out, and it feels like there's camaraderie even though your parents don't get along, which feels like a lot of like the world leaders right now. I feel like we needed as a community, as a country, to see that the rest of the world doesn't hate us. We're all just people. We all care about the same things. We want to have a good time. We want to party, and like all of this other like bigger crap just is bigger crap.
Wow. What's the ultimate story when it comes, in your opinion, when it comes to the U.S. national team? Because a lot of people were excited. I was too. That first game, I was like, I don't know enough about soccer, but it feels like, wait, maybe this is legit. And we all know how it ended. But what's the ultimate storyline for them?
For them, or for like what we as like a country should take away?
Maybe both. If
Okay.
we can combine both.
So I was listening to Fox News driving home from the Joe show Fox like sports radio driving home from the Joe show the other night, and heard their analysts say that the laziest take in the world was blaming what happened on youth sports. And I think that it's easy to say that there's like a development problem and that there's all these other sports and stuff that we have to focus on here. But I think it's a cost issue. I think that we need to make youth sports more affordable so that we can go back to the shirts and skins, soccer, basketball court days when anybody and everybody had a chance. It didn't matter if you were AAU or travel soccer or whatever. I think that's a big takeaway here. And people love to be like, okay, well, the women's team's doing okay and their development seems to be fine. Why can't the men's? One, women don't have as many sports to choose from. And two, as a country, we have poured so much money and resources into developing women's sports that other countries in the world have not and will not and are not capable of doing. That's why our women's team is so much better, is because in comparison to other women's programs, we have money and resources. And I think we just need to focus on kids are kids. They need to play sports. They need to build friendships, and they need to learn what it's like to be on a team. Stop taking that away from young people.
Do you think the game, especially here in the U.S., specifically here in the U.S., you think it's going to get more support after the World Cup?
I wanted to say yes, and I felt like yes until this game happened, because when you go out and you watch a country like Senegal take it to the limit against Belgium and almost beat them, and then Belgium come out and beat us 4-1, and then be able to hang with Spain yesterday for the majority of the game, it kind of leaves a little bit of a sour taste in your mouth. What I'm hoping that people don't walk away from this World Cup remembering was how soft and just kind of I don't know if I can say the word that I want to say, but like they played like a bunch of pussies. I'm sorry, they did. They got bullied off the ball. They went out there and acted like they didn't care. And you could tell that the Balogun thing was a distraction. I'm hoping that people don't remember the World Cup that way and still continue to consume and support, and hopefully we'll be better and make it beyond a round of 16 in the future. But it's hard not to feel that way. And it's not that I think that Americans should take anything away from it. I think that those players should take away that you can't be that soft and get bullied off the ball and expect the sport here to grow in consumption.
Well, you're out and about. You're always on the go. You're meeting with people, strangers. What sense do you get on the street level when it comes to, the game here in the United States? Are people still interested, or...
That game killed every ounce of momentum, motivation, anything that people had to consume
then
soccer.
Was it real? Was it ever really real?
I think it
then?
was, because I don't think that they should, be proud of beating Bosnia and Australia or whatever. You are a country that has so many people and so many resources, and there's no excuse, even if we have other sports that are bigger than soccer, for us to not be able to put a better team on the field. I just think that because most of our sports here that we consume and love are contact sports, to watch them get bullied and lay on the ground and roll around. I hate to give the Felgers of the world a point.
It's the truth.
But it is true.
truth.
As a country, like, we just are not that type of, we're not that type. We're not. And to go out there and watch, Christian Pulisic roll around on the ground for an injury that Alex Morgan played through a World Cup in, and then say, oh, guess I get to rest now because the tournament's over. When he rested for the Gold Cup last year, I agree with Carly Lloyd. You rest when your career is over. I don't care how many more games are on your body. It is what it is. You're on the team. You're supposed to be the second coming of Jesus Christ in the sport here for us. Grow up, get out there. My point on the Joe Show the other day was, and I know you're not the biggest soccer fan, but everybody consumes the World Cup and the Olympics, whatever. Could you see Landon Donovan, Clint Dempsey, and Tim Howard? That team was nowhere near as talented as this, but you would have had to murder them and drag their bodies off of that field when they played for this team and had that patch on their jersey. This team did not represent that whatsoever. Those teams, not as talented, but they were ballsy, gutless, and relentless, and they never would have went out there and acted that way.
Before we go to break, do you think that message will be sent to national players in the future, or maybe the ones that are on the team now that will be?
I think so, because it wasn't just, and I don't blame people for being upset because I'm upset. It wasn't that they lost to a world-class team like Belgium who has underperformed at a national level over the last 15 years or so. It was how they lost. They showed so much promise, and the way that they played before this was way better than they played in that game. And they just went out there and acted like they don't care.
Wow.
I'm hoping...
Any idea why?
I think the Balogun thing was a distraction. I think that they started to feel a little bit of entitlement because we were all so rallied behind them, and we could tell that they were a talented roster. And I think the biggest two things, they gave us hope and they gave us expectations. And both of those things by themselves are dangerous, but together they are lethal.
Wow. Phew. Kendra, coming through, spitting fire. It's 985 The Sports Hub. We got to take a quick break. When we get back, oh boy, Celtics, man. I have a theory. I'll tell you what it is about the Celtics. It's not a good thing. It's really not. And I'm a fan. I'm a Celtics fan. But man, oh man, I think there's trouble on the horizon. We'll talk about that next. 985 The Sports Hub. I feel like that's what the Celtics are going to have to do in the near future. Haven't been on air since the Jaylen Brown trade, Kendra.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's been a minute. I was on vacation when it happened. First thing I put out was this. I'm sick to my stomach. It really does make me feel sick. But let me explain. I feel as though the organization is on the verge of entering an era of dysfunction. And it hurts to say that.
The organization or the league? Because
the organization. I'm going with the organization. And the reason why, I remember 90s Celtics basketball. And I'm not saying that the Celtics are there. I actually think the Celtics are going to be a pretty good team this upcoming season. But I'm talking about, the future. I don't know anyone who really, really understands or agrees with the trade and how it went down and what the Celtics got in return. And it seems like the new ownership is starting to trend towards it really strictly being about money in their pocket. And we know that doesn't always translate to being contenders and champions. We saw the team get ripped apart last season. And now this whole Jaylen Brown stuff. As a matter of fact, we had on Gio. The young kid Gio.
I literally almost cried watching the clip of him on Toucher and Hardy.
And he, the original clip of him crying about Jaylen Brown is how a lot of us feel. Again, I think the team will be pretty good this upcoming season, but I'm talking about the future. Kendra, are you worried about this organization? And better yet, I'm going to ask this question. There was a time when out of the four Boston teams, the major teams, the Celtics once seemed like the safest bet to remain a contender. Now, where do you have them?
Okay. Loaded question, top to bottom. Multiple questions. I think, first of all, that fans here disappoint me in a way that people here are kind, they're not nice. People here, if you needed something, for example, let's say I needed the shirt off someone's back on the street, they'd give it to me, but they'd say F me while I do it. You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of people that live here. And for that type of person, there's not a whole lot that the Jacksonville Jaguars do right? And as a Jags fan, a couple years ago, there was a point where we started a grassroots movement with the Shad Khan clown out. And the fans were relentless about it. And it, at the end of the day, caused some changes because people were so upset and relentless and awful to him that he had no choice but to change. I think between John Henry and the new Celtics ownership, people here need to be a lot meaner, a lot more vocal, get the guillotine out, whatever you want. You need to be like the French back in the, old days.
Yep.
You need to be meaner because nothing is going to change unless you make these billionaires uncomfortable. They only care about them and their pockets. They don't care about winning, so put the pressure back on them.
What does that look like to you? Like not showing up to games, buying apparel?
And I get that at the end of the day, they're a global organization. People are still going to go to Red Sox games. People are still going to go to TD Garden. But you've got to make them hurt where you can. And let's say you have season tickets. Stop buying food. Stop buying drinks. Whatever. Stop. Don't care. You got to make them feel it. You got to be meaner. You got to have signs. You got to do all of the things. You got to yell at John Henry when he's in the park. I think it's the only way things are going to change. And yes, I am concerned. I think they'll be a fine regular season team, but they're so screwed when the postseason comes. And if you wanted to break up the two, fine. You didn't need to cuck everybody out of Giannis, okay? That wasn't necessary. Like, it didn't need to happen if you weren't serious about it. If you didn't want to spend money, you should be even more angry that they gave you the expectation that, okay, breakup is going to happen. They let you down with that, and that's fine. But it's going to happen because we're doing a change of scenery, and we're going to get someone equally as good, if not better, here. And instead, you're a day late and $1 short. And I think that that's bad. And as much as I love people here, and you guys are relentless, I think you need to take it a step further. And there will always be people in the arena. There will always be people there. That's always going to happen. Start with the ratings. Stop buying food. Stop buying merch. Stop supporting them. It's the only way they are going to feel it.
Do you believe it was a money move or a basketball move?
I think that Brad Stevens was bound and gagged with his hands tied behind his back in a dark room. And they shoved a hand so far up his ass it came out of his mouth, and they talked with it. And eventually he's going to go to college basketball. That's what I think.
I know when I was watching that press conference, I don't know about you. I do this with almost everything, including sports. Let's say there's a game going on. I'll watch what's going on the court, but I'm also watching what's going on the bench. And during that press conference, I'm looking and I'm like, yeah, these two aren't in total agreement at all. I think it's clear. It's not even, anything special to say. It was clear. They are not in total agreement. Unbelievable. 617-779-0985. Let's go to Joe in a car. What's up, Joe?
What's up, guys?
What's up?
I'm pissed off about this trade, and I'm going to tell you why. They traded the wrong guy, okay? Jason Tatum should have been traded, all right? Not Jaylen Brown. How much more does this man have to do? Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Finals MVP. He gets snubbed out of the Olympics. The guy wins a championship. He shows up in the playoffs, unlike Mr.
Uh-oh, he dropped. Listen, honestly, I would have preferred both of them stay. But Kendra, if you had to choose and you were in charge and you had to get rid of one, did they make the right decision? Would you have chosen Jaylen Brown or would you have gone Jason Tatum?
I've talked about this a lot. I get that Tatum is the better player. Not by much, but he is the better player. However, I think JB provides more for the team from a mentality aspect, from he's willing to do the dirty work. He's willing to get out there and, get dirty from time to time. I think that I prefer the mentality of the player that Jaylen is. I think that you But I think that I would have gone with Jalen, but I had a little bit of a disagreement with Skaz the other night. I think there's one of two things here. One, who do you think is more likable to other players and coaches, and who do you think is the more attractive option if you're trying to lure people in? And two, I think the big divide between fans and whoever else here has come, which personality type do you relate to more as an individual? I think that is where the divide is happening here. But the other thing too that we talked about is that I can't think of another city or team in any sport where two people on the same roster have been compared to each other for their entire career. I can't. I really can't. And I just don't understand if it's the media here, if it's the fan base here. Why has it always been, from the time these two got together, comparing the two of them? I cannot think of another scenario where that's the case.
I think the reason might be because with other teams throughout the history of sports that I can think of, there was always clearly a better player, even though the other player that they were being compared to might have been great. I'm thinking Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, but it was clear Michael Jordan was the guy. It wasn't that Scottie Pippen was trash. He was a really good player. He's one of the top 50 of all time, but Michael Jordan was clear. I think with Tatum and Brown, it's so close that you can't put one on a pedestal, and I think just human nature is to just pick and pick apart and trying to pick which one is the best one. But they're so close. I like what you said. I personally, Jaylen Brown has the mindset that I would like to follow. He's like, let's go get it. Hey, if you're screwing up, I'm the type of person, if I'm screwing up, let me know.
Don't hold your hand while I say it.
And don't sugarcoat it. Don't sit back and be like, well, he'll figure it out on his own. Jason Tatum sees a little bit more hands off. He's a little bit more, I want to say polite with it. And that works for some people. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I just wish they both could have worked it out. I mean, not they, but the team could have worked it out and had both of them.
Do you think that it was Tatum not loving, Jalen wanting? No?
I don't think so at all. I really think it comes down to money.
But then why weren't they talking for the last year?
I think they had a really good working relationship, but outside of that, and I'm that type of person too. If we're cool and we work and we do what we got to do, great. If we don't have a relationship outside of work, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
It's not, we
go through that here.
Yeah, you're not going to build that type of relationship with every person that you work with, every coworker.
Do you think that is a similar job, right? Like basketball is all about chemistry. Our job's all about chemistry.
Yeah.
I think that having chemistry with people in these types of jobs where chemistry matters, being friends helps. Like, you're better on the air with people you like than dislike.
That's
and
true.
people that you talk to outside of work.
That's true. But if these two, let's say they didn't have that type of relationship, ultimately in the game of basketball, the goal is to win.
We made people on the phones.
Oh,
Matt.
yeah. The goal is to...
Poor Garvin's sweating back there.
The goal is to win a championship, and guess what? They did it. So they figured out how to coexist to some degree. I just wish the team could have kept them two together.
It was almost, I don't want to say it was a cupcake year, because no year is a cupcake year unless it was this last NFL year and every AFC quarterback was injured. However, did they underperform by not winning more than one? I think that you could easily say,
Yeah.
And how much of that comes back to the fact that it seems like they don't like each other?
Let's go to Gary. Well, you know what? We're up against it. Dang.
Should we do it? Let's do a lightning round.
Yeah, we'll do that. But we'll do that next, okay? Let's take a break. We'll be right back. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Leroy and Cerrone on The Sports Hub.
Go to Jake in Andover. Jake.
What's up, Leroy?
What's up?
So, really quick, as a man, a fellow Christian man, I've come up with this storyline for this. This is known as the Chisholm Schism, the separation of the Jays. This PE scummy owner, which I've been in commercial banking for over 10 years, they're all the same. It's shrinkflation. And it's going to end up to Tatum becoming a Destiny Laker because he's going to drive him out of town soon. After that, these guys all suck.
Appreciate it, Jake.
Wait, okay. I know we're going to continue this lightning round, but one answer, one word. Where does LeBron go?
I hope he goes home. To be honest, I hope he goes home, but watch him end up with the Sixers. Because
I was going to say Philly.
if the Sixers are looking on paper, they look good. You don't know how they're going to mesh. You said chemistry earlier. You don't know what the chemistry is going to be like with the Sixers, but on paper, they look strong.
I hope he does.
And what if JB pushes Embiid to get in shape and be ready?
He already is. Oh. He already is. It's going to be dangerous. He's going to want to play now.
Unbelievable. Craig and Lowell. Craig.
All right. So here's the deal. I think that if you go back in time, we lost in 2022 and we had to adapt to the modern day. We had to get 6 All-Stars to win in 2024. I believe that the owners looked at this whole organization and realized that we had no chance at winning in the next couple of years because there is no big out in the league that's available for us to get without getting rid of one of the Jays anyway, keep going. And so as a result, they realized they have to get rid of Jaylen Brown because they're not going to win in the next 2 years anyway. And so they grabbed what they could.
What they grabbed was garbage. I'm sorry.
They literally traded him for some current middle schoolers.
Exactly. Let's go to Gary.
Literal middle schoolers.
Gary in Rhode Island. Gary.
How you doing, guys?
Good.
Well, first, I would love to see them keep them both and add a big man. They should have went all in on Giannis, number one. And number two, I just have a quick question. Game 7 where Tatum sat out. If that was Brown, do you think he would have sat out? I'm going to hang up and listen.
Appreciate it.
Great question. So. No way. No way.
If that was Brown coming back from an injury, do you think he would have sat out?
I thought that was implied.
See, I don't know. Some people, when they hear that question.
But either way, my answer is
really?
No.
I don't know. I think Brown might have sat out too.
No. No way.
Really?
No.
A Game 7 coming back from an injury like that, you got to be careful.
Once again, like I said about Clint Dempsey and Landon Donovan earlier, you would have had to drag him off of that court.
Wow.
That's why I would take him over Tatum, though. That's why I would. I get that Tatum is better, but that's why I love the dog mentality, and Tatum doesn't have that.
All right, let's go to Frank in Sandwich. Frank.
Boils down to one thing, in my opinion. Jason Tatum is more interested in being liked than in winning, and Jaylen Brown is much more interested in winning. And that characteristic, regardless of talent, is why Brown is the better player and will be.
Oh, stop. You really believe just because Jason Tatum let's say he does want to be liked.
He's the king of PR management. That's why he didn't say anything through all of this. That's why he's calculated, Leroy. He's a nice guy, but he's marketable because he's calculated. No, I agree with him. Shout out Sandwich, Massachusetts.
Let's go to Al in Dorchester. Al.
Hey, what's going on?
What's up?
You asked you didn't keep Brown and Tatum. I say here's the simple answer: lose Missoula and get a coach that did what Rivers did when they got Garnett, Pierce, and get them in the room and say, what are we going to do? Somebody's going to communicate and make it work.
Yeah, nobody's bigger than the team.
Yeah, one more before we go. Let's see Jeff in Seekonk. Jeff.
How you guys doing? My quick question is the Game 7 lineup. If the roles were reversed, would we get the same lineup that we saw if Tatum was on the court and Brown was sitting down?
That's a good question. I don't know. You got to ask Joe Mazzulla about that one. I think regardless, even with Tatum not being in the lineup, that was a bizarre, weird, just crazy lineup. Go ahead, Kendra.
Can we bring Brad Stevens back downstairs?
I think part of the reason why he went upstairs is because he has a hard time identifying with and making a connection with young players today. So
I don't know, because I think he's going to go back to college basketball, so I disagree.
Ooh, we shall see. Listen, we got to wrap this thing up. Let's do the players' call.
Y'all want to hear my player call? I think, do you want to hear the player call?
All right, this is the time when we take time to show love to someone who's done something phenomenal in sports or in our everyday lives. And with that being said, Kendra, I'm just going to go first. I want to say the city of Boston lost a beacon, Pastor Chris Sumner, who passed away. So my thoughts and prayers go out to his family, to his friends. Nothing but love. So Pastor Chris Sumner, you get my players call. Rest in peace. Kendra, who you got?
I'm going to toss mine to Kylian Mbappe for sticking up against global racism. That is my player's call.
You know what? You right. Hey, Ryan, you got one?
Yeah, I just shout out to all the cool people I met in the city on Tuesday, talking about soccer, talking about music, just people not being afraid to just strike up conversations with random people. I was kind of blown away just how outgoing everybody was, and I got to hang out with some really, really neat people. So shout out to all you guys.
All right, there it is. We are out of here, Kendra. It's just been a blast. We got to do it again. We got to do it with Cerrone. Are you down? Would you be down?
Listen, if Jim Louth will give you guys the hours to let me stay in this studio, book it.
This might happen very, very soon. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Jim Murray, who is he with today?
McCarthy.
And McCarthy are coming up next. You guys have a phenomenal day. Don't forget, Sail Boston. I've never been in my life, even though I'm a Bostonian. But I'm going to check it out. But you guys get out there, check it out, be safe, live good, eat good, and please show your fellow man the utmost respect on behalf of the show. I'm
And
Leroy.
be good.
That's right, and be good. I'm gone.